really screwing up this podcast schedule. You know that?
Are we recording now?
Yes, we are recording.
Well, listen,
right now.
you say I look good in black, so I wore black. Yes, I know I've been very busy, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm here today in the flesh.
Great. I've literally been having complaints. Not only am I the tech department, I'm also the complaints department. And so I've been fielding complaint after complaint after complaint.
That what?
That where's the podcast?
Okay. Talent. They were specifically talking about where's talent or where's the podcast?
Where's the podcast?
Because you did do one episode without me.
I did do an episode. So we skipped a week, and then I asked Ashley to come be on the podcast because I knew that you weren't going to be able to be here yet again. And then we almost didn't do it this week.
Well, you got me today. In fact, not only do you have me today, you even asked me, do you want me to cook first? And I said, no. Let's get to this podcast because I feel like
it would not have happened had I gone.
You would have cooked and then we would have eaten. And I would have been tired. Yes, so here we are. I'm glad to be here, wearing black because you say it's your favorite color on me.
You do look nice in black.
Hey, so did you hear? I don't know what's on your agenda today, but did you hear that Trump has signed I don't know, bill, whatever the word is. I don't hate me if I'm wrong, but to where health insurance companies are going to, I don't know if have to, or going to start covering for IVF treatment.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe that?
I mean, that's
that's huge.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, because, the average IVF, I think, is somewhere for like $15,000 to $25,000 or something like that. And I think about the number of people that, I mean, honestly,
like us.
It even affected us. It's like, because it's not guaranteed for one. And it's, preventative for a lot of people, especially younger couple or whatever. And maybe they're wanting to try to have kids and they just can't or whatever. Like it's a financial commitment that a lot of people just can't do. But maybe really want to have a kid. So that's a huge plus in my book. So. I didn't know if you had heard that or not, but I know that we have in the past kind of had fertility issues, and IVF is one of those things that we considered. So I thought I'd tell you about that.
Yeah, I've not heard that because I don't listen to news. What is he doing?
I don't know. I actually heard that on the radio station.
Really?
Yeah. And then I've seen it on TikTok a couple of times now too.
I think that's fantastic. I'm sure there's more to it than just like
of course,
whatever, but. I think that's fantastic because that was definitely one of the factors, obviously, for us that we didn't go that route because it just that financial obligation is
well, and
big.
especially if it's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if it's for a fact, whatever. But so anyhow, I thought I'd share that with you guys.
Cool. Well, so yeah.
Can we talk about the fact that you're wearing pajamas?
We can talk about that.
So, guys, just so you know, we're recording this at 6 o'clock.
What are you doing?
At 6 o'clock, and my wife is in her pajamas.
And
her Lincoln.
Lincoln does not like the fact that you're holding Blakely. He doesn't know what to do right now.
Okay.
He's running around and he's back here behind the equipment. So I purposely put the computer down here because the last two times we've recorded, I've accidentally unplugged this piece and it screwed everything up.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. So he's probably just stuck. So we'll hear him whining in a minute. So anyhow.
Yeah. Well, so what's the problem with me being in pajamas?
I didn't say there was a problem. I'm just saying you are in pajamas. I guess
this is like the first time I've done this in a long time, but I have makeup on, so you can't say like I'm
and you have a cute little bow in your hair.
Well,
too.
I just made like a little TikTok.
I guess the main thing is I want people to know that is in fact your pajamas and not what you thought was an outfit or whatever the case may be. We're not going in public in this thing.
If it fit a little differently, it could be an outfit.
So let me tell you a funny story
I'm not
today.
above wearing it.
So I go get a haircut.
Yeah.
Hence the look. So, anyways, the guy who is getting his haircut before me happened to notice me or whatever. And so when I'm going to get my haircut, he said, my barber, who I've been going to for years, said, "Hey, I didn't know that you knew so-and-so." And I was like, who? Because I really didn't pay attention as I was walking by. I just kind of went straight to the restroom because I saw he had somebody's chair. So anyways, he said, he was telling me about each other on Facebook and all this other stuff. And he was like, I've listened to a few of the podcasts with him and his wife.
Right. Anytime somebody says that, I'm like, oh.
Right. And I was like, oh,
I'm
shit.
doing this because I want people to listen to me. And I'm also like, don't really want you to tell me in public that you listen because I'm embarrassed.
So anyways, he was like, you ought to hear, man. They're just in the middle of a podcast, just start fussing. And my barber, Hank, he kind of talks a little quietly. And I was like, no, man. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. I said, we talk about it, but we don't actually do it. And he kind of kept talking or whatever, and then he said something again about, yeah, man, I could imagine y'all two just starting to fuss, like y'all fussing in the middle of the podcast. And I was like, I said, Hank, I said, full transparency, I thought you said fucking, like we just start fucking in the middle of the pot, and he
why
died.
Would your mind
because
have gone there?
because we talk about it.
Yeah, we might talk about.
And so, anyways, I said we talk about it, but we do not do that. I said I thought you said fuck. I said you said fuss, and I'm so happy that's what you said. So anyhow, we got a big kick out of it. So just another listener. Yeah. So anyways, I thought it was funny. So anyways, I got a kick out of that. And if you guys don't know this, we had to hit pause. I don't know if you heard Annie say Lincoln went downstairs abruptly. We weren't sure. But that just goes to show how routine our dogs are. Because it's dinner time right now.
It's dinner time.
And so we go downstairs and we have a doorbell that he rings if he needs to go outside, and I didn't hear. I was like, he's probably fine. He's down there eating. But anyways, I said, see, he's even telling you it's dinner time. So anyhow.
And we've been giving them, so we're going to start supplementing some of their dog food. And we're going to start putting in the look he's giving me right now. I bought specifically, it's crazy. I grocery shop specifically for them this past week. So they got peas, they got carrots, and they got green beans. Now, I got canned because I just wanted to try it and see. Of course, they said get the no sodium or low sodium or whatever. And so I did that. And we have found out that Lincoln will eat anything.
We knew that.
Literally does not care, which we pretty much knew that. Blakely, of course, is the picky one. And so she doesn't like the green beans. So she gets only peas and carrots. And he gets peas and carrots and green beans.
I did not give him any peas yesterday because I wanted to save the peas for her. So I gave him just green beans and carrots. So anyhow.
And they went at it. Yeah. They love it. So it's these dogs. I'm going to add in chicken.
You might as well add some scrambled eggs.
I don't actually make scrambled eggs, but we make chicken a lot, so I might.
It's fine, but a little less dog food, a little more of the vegetables. They'll be good to go. So anyhow, we got to keep these dogs as long as we possibly can.
Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about that. But I thought what we probably could talk about just things that have been going on, and that damn black cat.
Oh my gosh, yeah, tell this story. First of all, our son Jack, he just cannot catch a break.
It is. I gotta start doing some manifesting for him. I need to do a little spell, even though Ashley doesn't want me to. Like,
I'm 46 years old, and I bet his vehicle has had to be towed more than mine in my entire life.
He needs like a frequent flyer card for
Lee Kitchens. We need you to set up a frequent flyer mile card for tows.
Yeah,
and Jackson will do that.
Was it the Super Bowl? I think it was Super Bowl Sunday. He calls me and he's like, just mad, just cussing and mad. And I'm like, what is going on? He's like, this mother bleeping cat. Like, I cannot believe this. And so he, his truck has just exploded, whatever. He says, what is the word he says? It basically just exploded, blown up. His truck is blown up. And he had just left the gym, and he hears this rattle, and it's like kablah or whatever, and then he can see just something leaking or hear it leaking or something. I don't know. Pulls over, gets out, and just this green goo is leaking. He says green. I didn't tell that it was green, but anyway. And
so it's something with the radiator at that point,
so
or presumably.
We Googled, and of course it's something with the radiator. And he's like, "Is that freaking cat? They have these cats that are just roaming the neighborhood, and I can only assume that
this cat is no longer roaming the neighborhood.
This cat's not roaming anything at this point. This cat literally, he opened up the what's that thing called?
Hood?
Yes, the hood. And the hood up, and all you can see is a black tail. There's some guts there too. Trigger warning, I guess, in case.
Definitely guts there.
It's definitely guts there. And a black tail, for sure, a black tail. And he was just pissed. And so we rode up there just to kind of check it out, see if there's anything we can do. He calls the tow truck, calls the everybody, whatever, and it has just been a absolute mess. So yeah, so it busted the radiator, it broke the fan, it basically caused about $2,500 worth of damage.
I'm just wondering what it smells like at this point.
I don't know. I'm worried about that too.
Surely they probably have gotten rid of most of it. But it was like literally like chunks of stuff. And then you look down and there's.
Did they charge you extra to clean like the goo out? Did they clean the goo out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that part of the process?
If not, man, you just have to hope it doesn't get in the air intake and start smelling.
It's so.
But anyway, like, what are the chances?
It is insane, and it's like, what do you do?
What's even more crazy is it wasn't even on a cold day where the cat was presumably trying to stay warm. It was on like one of the 75-degree days.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how you prevent that. It's insane. Never. I mean, I'm however old I am, and
You're
never
almost 50.
You're almost anything.
You're
like
on the tail end of your 40s.
Oh my God! If it's not one thing, it's another. Damn.
Yeah. It can only go up from here. It can only get better from here.
You would hope so.
Yeah.
Fudge. Yeah. I mean, it is insane. So anyway, I took he everything got all screwed up. So Ashley is down because she had a wreck, and so she hasn't gotten a new vehicle yet from her wreck, and so they're basically down to one vehicle, and so we're kind of like lending one of ours to them to help out with everything. And so Friday he had finished whatever he needed to do, and so I took him to lunch because we very rarely get to do anything like that. And so we went and we were having a conversation, and I don't even remember how we got on the topic, but somehow it came up about talking about the first time you talked about sex with your kids. And so I was kind of laughing. As soon as I said it, he started laughing. I said, "Do you remember the first time that we had the conversation?" And he was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Tell me," because I want to see, is it the first time that, I'm picturing or whatever. And he did. He was like, we were in the car. We were like on the way to Lowe's or a game or something. And I was locked in the car. And all I wanted to do was get out of the car. And I'm like, yes, that's the exact same conversation I remember having. He was like, but I already knew everything at that point, Mom. I was like, what? Like, you were like 12. What do you mean you already knew everything? He's like, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but. And I'm like, oh, God. Like, heart just dropping. I'm like, I'm afraid.
He's been watching Taxi Cab Confessions.
Which is disturbing, by the way. And what years did that take place?
So here's the thing: is when I was growing up, I think it's from 1994.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I graduated in '97. So freshman year, whatever, that was your senior year. You graduated in '94. I graduated in '97. But anyhow, there was a show on HBO called Taxi Cab Confessions where couples would get in the taxi. Homosexuals in New York. It was in Vegas. It was in the big cities. A prostitute. I mean, just anybody who got in there, and they'd secretly record them. And of course, at the end, they'd tell them. So anyhow, when you're, 14, 15, whatever years old, at that point, like, that's a pretty big deal. Like, the intro showed a couple of hookers with their titties showing and stuff like that. And so anyhow, I was just, like, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, let me just see if I can find this shit. Because we have HBO. I was like, let me just see if I can find it. And sure enough, I searched it, and all of the episodes from 1994 and however long it ran are on there. So I started watching it at night, and not to like get off or get horny or anything like that, but really just more nostalgic, and then just to see the entertainment value. And I do it while Annie is taking her makeup off and all that stuff. And of course, she can hear it from the other room, and she's yelling stuff and getting pissed and all this other stuff.
Turn that shit
But
off.
Then she ends up watching it. And
I don't have an option. It's not like I got 2 TVs in my bedroom.
So anyways, I don't know. It's become kind of my nighttime routine.
Well, it's annoying.
So anyhow, it was like a trip down memory lane because the video quality is god-awful. Everybody's smoking in the taxis. I mean, the taxi cab driver's smoking, the passengers are smoking, they're all smoking, which obviously you wouldn't be able to do that nowadays. But anyways, it's just pure entertainment for me.
So anyway, no, he did not watch Taxi Cab Confessions, but he told me that in in after school program at Matt Arthur, he said he and a couple of the others that, lived in he was like, our little crew that, we were always the last ones there. We were all sitting around like
that's
talking.
A little dig right there. That's a little
that
dig.
was a dig, yes. But also true.
Yeah.
And he said they were sitting around and I guess maybe talking and like this person knew a little bit about this and this person knew a little bit about this and this, and before you know it, you've kind of
put it all together.
And he said, matter of fact, even one point they got in trouble because they were talking about it and they pulled them out of ASP and were like I don't know where you guys have heard this, but this is something you should only be talking about with your parents. You can't talk about this in after school and whatever. And they were like, please don't tell our parents. Please don't tell our parents. And he said, thank God they didn't tell you guys. And I'm like, he literally was like, I don't know if I should tell you this. He really went back and forth on whether or not. And I'm like, dude, you're 24 years old. It does not matter at this point.
Oh, he means not tell you now.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he was like, don't tell me then. Like, telling the teachers, don't tell us then. But also, he's like, I don't know if I should be telling you this now.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was like, oh, my God. Anyway, I thought that was funny. So, But then he goes on. He was in a sharing mood, I guess. And so he's like, there's several things that, like, there's stories that he said, I'm sure I'll tell you throughout the years. And I'm like, whoa, hold up. What do you mean you'll tell me throughout the years? He's like, I don't know if I can tell you all these stories right now. He said, they're still maybe just a little too fresh. I'm like, excuse me? He's like, and he started cracking up at himself. Of course, he looks like.
Which means you're cracking up.
Right, which means I'm laughing.
Think he's hilarious.
I'm like, what are you? He was like, there's this one time.
Oh, geez.
He's like, I don't even know if I should tell you this. And I was like, just tell me. He's like, you promise you're not going to get mad? I'm like, what am I going to do at this point? And he said, one time when maybe you and I had gone out of town, like his senior year in high school, and left him at home alone. And apparently, this story involves him and Jacob and Hunter. And, yes.
Okay.
And apparently, they wanted to smoke.
Okay.
Marijuana.
Okay.
Not cigarettes.
Yeah.
And so.
Hence the reason the smoke detector got taken off the wall, but it was because of the battery. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. I do know.
But Jackson, these are his words. He said, but I don't like to get in trouble. I like to make sure everything's going to be okay. He said, my luck is the house is going to burn down. And he said, so I was like, we're going to do it at my house, so I know we'll be safe. But yet, these other two, I can't control what they do, so I'm also a little worried. And so he said they smoked some marijuana and then decided that they wanted to build a bonfire outside, or not a bonfire. They wanted to have a fire.
Yeah.
And so they did a fire in the fire pit. And he said, we're pretty smoked up at this point. And he said, and maybe it really wasn't like this, and maybe it just felt like this. He said, but I swear I felt that fire was touching the trees. And all I could hear is Kent, this exact same thing from Kent of, I don't want it to catch the leaves on fire, and where are the embers the wind's going to take the embers off and something's going to burn down. And he said, all I could think of, he said, they're cracking up and this fire is just getting higher and higher and higher. And he's like, I'm freaking out. He said, and all I can think of is we're going to burn this house down and y'all are going to kill me. And so he goes and gets the fire. He gets the hose and he makes him put the fire out or whatever, puts the fire out. But I was just cracking up and I'm like, it's going to be interesting to see what little stories like.
Did he tell any other stories?
That was it.
I thought what you were going to talk about was, you remember there was one time when he walked in on us.
Oh God, no. No, I was not going to talk about that. And I was not going to talk about that with Jackson.
Oh, okay. But I thought that he may have brought that up.
Oh God, no.
Do you remember what excuse we used? It was like you were slobbing on my knob. I mean,
oh my God,
at least we weren't like having full on sex.
Yes, thank God.
But I just remember.
That's the last time I think he came in without knocking. That's the last time we didn't lock the door.
He probably is PTSD from that. But anyhow, I just remember like we just froze. And I was like above the blankets and you were of course below. But it was just like we said something like.
I think like the blanket was down enough that like my head, like I was still popped out of the blanket too. I like popped my head up and kind of just.
Do you remember what we said? I'm sure it was something stupid like we were playing hide and seek or something.
I don't think we had to explain anything. I think we just try to act as normal as possible.
Oh my God.
And answer the question that he had and move on.
Yeah.
And
but at least he learned. Like the other one, 20 years old, she don't care. She'll barge into a damn room. It is.
So
We need a deadbolt. We need a deadbolt in our bedroom. Because they like.
Well, no, you're not locking the door. Like, shut the door and lock it before she gets home. It's so annoying.
But anyhow,
then I'm like, get out.
Of course, if it's locked, she, whatever. And most of the time, if it's shut, but every now and then she'll knock, or if the door's open at all.
She came in and she would not.
Well, the
leave.
door's open.
You're like, Annie's gonna yell at you. Annie's gonna get you. I'm like, why do I have to be the bad guy? Why
Same reason I was the bad guy with Jackson. It's just the way it is. So anyhow, go.
No, you
what
were
other
the bad
story?
guy just because you were being an asshole.
Any other stories that y'all talked about? That's hilarious.
No, but listen. So I come out of the bathroom and she's like, "Oh, you ain't got no pants on." I'm like, "Yeah, it's my bedroom. I'm going to bed. Get out. Get out."
Yeah.
Shouldn't have to worry about having pants on or not having pants on.
Sometimes I'm like, "Girl, read the room." But anyhow.
There's no read the room. I'm gonna need you to step up.
For some reason, I knew that story about the fire outside. I feel like either
I don't think so.
Told it before. Like when you were saying it, I was like, I feel like I've heard this before. Maybe he's talked about her youth. I don't know. Anyhow, that's funny though. But it's funny that at 24, he still feels.
He's still a little concerned.
Yeah, like a little shy, embarrassed. Feels like he could still get in trouble.
Yeah,
I don't know.
think that's more the one. It's not shy or embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's because he was laughing the whole time, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But the my freaking ears itching again. Like, what is it about our house?
I don't know, but I think you should make that noise because we talked about it before.
I know.
You should make that noise so everybody can hear it.
I'm trying not to.
Good.
But like my throat's itching. And now I can't help it. Now I feel like there's snot there. I can't get like I need to swallow it down or blow my nose.
And you can't now when you're thinking about it.
Yeah, no, you cannot.
That's why I'm not good at shots. And I always feel a little funny saying this, but like I can't swallow it. Like when I take a shot, you're thinking about swallowing, so then you can't swallow, and it's like I just sit there and hold it in my mouth. That's why I can't do liquor shots. I mean, I can, but I don't like to. Yeah.
Okay. Random, but okay, thank you.
Well, it's not random. You're talking about you can't swallow your phlegm because you're thinking about it.
Okay, sure, I guess. Do we want to talk about what we've been doing? So let's talk about Valentine's plans. What do we do for Valentine's?
Nothing.
Nothing. We
do
nothing.
Valentine's.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Forever. I made the mistake.
Because I show you I love you every other day.
No. This is my mistake. This is not. And women, ladies, if you are younger, if you were like 20 in your 20s, early 20s, beginning a relationship, learn from this mistake. From the get-go, I told you, don't waste money on flowers. Like, they just die.
Yeah.
I would rather you buy me something.
Well, I'm going to start growing them now, but yes.
Here's the problem. You heard, don't buy me flowers.
Ever.
And you did not hear the second part of that statement, which was,
they die, buy me
I would
something
rather
else.
you buy me something. Correct. And so you just don't buy flowers, nor do you buy me anything. And I have let that just go. I've let it go. It's no big deal. It is what it is. I mean,
so is it a big deal or is it not a big deal?
It's not
because it sounds to me like it might be a big deal.
I don't know. It's not a big deal. But at the same time, like, the idea of getting flowers every once in a while is really nice.
That's fair. That's why I'm starting to grow them for you.
It's also kind of like, when we had the birthday party, the surprise party, like having the birthday party, I'm like, that's not necessary every year, but every once in a while, it's really nice.
So let me ask you, on a scale of 1 to important, if a 20-year-old puts on Facebook, hey, grown folks that have been married, what is one piece of advice you would give this 20-year-old who is about to get married? Is this item important enough to make it to that list?
It is. Matter of fact, I told Jackson a couple of days before Valentine's, I said, hey, this is your, reminder in case you don't remember. Valentine's is on Friday. I said, I know that you've not seen Kent do things for me for Valentine's. I know for birthdays and Christmas and different things, I've always told you, don't worry about it. I don't want you to waste your money. I don't want you to spend your money on me, blah, blah, blah. But that was not a good representation of what you should do for a woman. So I want to make sure that you are showing her that you care, that you are doing something that she would enjoy, whether that's flowers, taking her somewhere nice to eat, doing some sort of just doing an experience together, going somewhere. It doesn't have to be like the whole flowers and candy. Like, no, like that's not necessary. Matter of fact, I saw some TikToks. These girls, they were like, he understood, or he did it anyway, or I don't know what.
And it was like $3,000 worth of roses.
Oh my God! Yeah. I'm like, you've got to be kidding. What are you doing with that whole thing of flowers? But like,
she's putting it on TikTok.
Well, of course, and so like that's not the end all be all, but you need to do something to let that person know. Okay. And so,
how about Valentine's on your 50th? When you turn 50, I'll start doing something different.
Happening on my 50th.
So what did we do 2 days after Valentine's?
Well, so what we did the day after Valentine's, because I brought it up, which doesn't matter.
Okay,
it's fine. We decided to try that infrared sauna and the red light therapy place, Beam, here in town. And so
so hold on, we decided the day after to do something together.
Fine. Exactly.
Okay.
Because Friday night I cooked. I said I wasn't going to, but I did it anyway.
Yeah, it was a good meal.
You were busy or whatever, and it was a jam up meal. And
is there a cost to do this Beam that you're talking about?
There's a cost.
Okay, all right. More or less than what flowers would have cost?
I don't know.
Maybe because they stick it to you on Valentine's Day. But anyhow, go ahead.
But decided to go do that as a couple together because they have they call it a social sauna where two people can go in that infrared sauna together. And so we decided to do this, and I had no idea what to expect. Like, the pictures online, it show a glass sauna. And so I'm like, okay, are we going to be like out in the open?
With jogging pants on.
Just watching us? Like, this is so strange. Okay, that's not the way it is. You actually have your own individual little room with the door, and then you go into the sauna. And it's supposed to bring you to a sweat at lower temperatures. And so they say the sweet spot is like between 135 and 145, and you stay for 40 minutes. It's a timed limit of 40 minutes. You obviously do as much or little as you want. And so we did that, and it was so nice because we just put on meditation music, which I thought you were going to despise because that's not your jam. Like, you don't do silence. Like, there's very rarely a time where you are silent. And if it's not you talking or you asking me something or you looking on TikTok or what, it's you humming something or singing something, or it's just never silent.
Yeah, you were trying to talk in there, and I had to finally say, and then I finally had to say.
No, not the first time. I did not. Absolutely did not. The first time was meditation music. We were very quiet. It was very sweaty, and I thought I was going to die.
So,
throw up.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you say you enjoyed the first session? Because we've been since then.
I enjoyed it enough to want to go back a second time.
Okay.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it for different reasons than you enjoyed it.
Okay. So I will say that it is probably, without sexual stuff, it is probably one of the most intimate things we have ever done. There was just something about being in there together, sweating together. I think I even said to one of the people, like, we've been married 16 years. Her sweat is my sweat is her sweat, or whatever. But there was just something incredibly intimate about being that close for that length of time and just being able to connect. And for me, to be able to sit there for 40 minutes in basically silence. And the second time I ended up laying on the floor because I thought, the bench or whatever, it could be a little tight with two people in there. So I laid on the floor, still did the meditation and all that stuff. But it was not difficult at all for me to just relax for 40 minutes. And when I say relax, I mean full on.
Now the second time is when I was speaking out loud. And we still had meditation.
You were the first time too. The first time you were talking, I was like, okay, let's do this thing, right? Because for you, like, you can go in the bedroom and meditate, or you can come on the couch and meditate. Now, I know it's difficult because you got me, you got the dogs, you got Lauren, you got whatever. And so I know that you appreciate kind of that time. And I don't normally like that time.
Right.
But it allows me to meditate with you. And I mean, like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if it's like a spiritual thing. I don't know if it's just like a connectivity thing, but it is just, it's a level of intimacy that I don't think that
But was
we've
that
had
just
before.
the first time? Because I feel like the second two times you didn't enjoy it. The third time because we were listening to a podcast, which
Yeah,
you did not
I did
like.
not like that. The second time, it wasn't as like physically, like we're not sweating on each other and all that stuff. So it was a different level of intimacy, but there was just something still really, really nice about, you're there meditating, I'm there meditating. It's something we're doing together. The third time, like you said, we listened to a podcast. I did not enjoy it. I mean, I still sweat and I still, but that is, in my opinion, that is the only way I'm going to be able to experience that level of relaxation and meditation. It's not going to happen any other way.
Really?
And so for me, like, continuing to do this, so just so y'all know, they have like a weekly thing where you can buy a 1 week membership or whatever and go as much as you want to try everything out and whatnot. So we did that. We said, let's try it. Let's see if we're going to. To me, I'm in favor of doing it longer, simply because I realized how much I enjoyed being able to lay there for 40 minutes and not say anything. Mm-hmm. And it helps with my breathing. It helps with, honestly, everything. So I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Today was the first day where I didn't feel kind of sick to my stomach.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's the doing, like the electrolyte beforehand, or if like I'm just starting to get used to it or whatever, but it was a little bit better today. And then after we're doing the infrared sauna, we're doing the red light therapy. And I think we talked about the red light mask that I got. And, so this is the same type of thing, except it's a bar that you lay basically like on a massage type bed. And you get really close to the light.
You'd picture it almost like a tanning bed would look, similar to it. Yeah.
Kind of. And and you go 15 minutes in the red light therapy too. And so,
7 on your front, 7 on your back.
Yeah. And so we've been doing that. Now, do I see benefits of any of it? Not really, but...
But I don't know that it's realistic to think you're going to see benefits after a week. What we said, so the membership that you can do, I mean, I don't know if they are going to continue doing a month to month, but the membership that we're considering doing is a 6-month membership. And my thought was, if we do it for 6 months, we don't see a difference, don't feel a difference, whatever. There's no sense in continuing it. But if you do see a difference, and because like this is the kind of like the red light therapy and the sauna, like all this is like stuff that these people on TV are doing.
Yeah,
you know
the
what I
red
mean?
light therapy especially, like there's so many benefits internally as far as like inflammation,
cell regeneration, collagen,
circulation, cardiovascular, blah 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 blah. But it's time consuming. I mean, to do both of those, it is a good hour that you are there, and
if you're going to do both of those.
Yeah, if you're going to do both.
Like this morning, I didn't have the time, but I wanted to go to the gym, so I went and did the 15-minute red light therapy, threw on clothes, and went to the gym. And honestly, like red light therapy, you could do it in regular clothes. You go change because you're not sweating.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
To me, that's different. Like when you lay in a tanning bed, you're sweating, or I do at least, and then I smell like burnt skin.
Yeah.
With this, it doesn't affect, like you're not getting sunburn or anything like that. So anyhow, I'm very much interested in it. I definitely think it's worth doing the 6 months, and let's see if I look more youthful, because you're about to be 50, I'm 46. What if after this you look like you're 40 and I look like I'm 30? That's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
That would actually...
I'd have to change the color of my hair a little bit too,
yeah.
but
I feel as though we would have time jumped if that's the case.
Yes.
Like, there's no way I'm going to look 40 again. But
who knows?
It's worth a shot.
But yeah, I think it's worth it. And again, to me,
I do again enjoy the time away from the house.
Right.
Either by myself or with you. That is enjoyable.
Because that is like the time together, like fully together, we just don't get that.
Especially now, because things are getting busier for you. So just like I was saying with Valentine's Day, I cooked, and then I honestly felt like I kind of sat there and ate by myself because you were on your phone, you were texting, matter of fact, I took even a little video of it, and I was like, happy Valentine's to me. And
I think we were working on a contract that
yeah,
night
which
or
is
something.
fine. I mean, that's part of it. But so
yeah.
I think that probably you've been so busy that I think we've not had that. So I think you've definitely enjoyed going to do that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we'll let you know how it goes. 6 months from now, when we do a podcast, well, you can tell us if we look any different.
I'm just hoping that
take a screenshot.
I'm hoping it can help with these red. I'm getting these horrible red places on my face, and they used to come
hair
up
growth
and
too.
go
hair
away.
growth too.
Oh yeah, the red light therapy. Is
so that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, home growth. Damn.
Hormone. Hair growth.
And these red spots on my face are just becoming bad. They used to come up and go away, and now they're like coming up and not really going away. And so, and even this one, like,
how cool would it be if it works out? Yeah, I don't know what happened with that one, but yeah.
I don't know how many times to tell you.
Well, no,
like,
man, I can say it again.
Bled several times.
Okay.
And so anyway.
You need to Google that and see if it's anything that needs to be checked out.
I mean, what am I to Google? Like, I don't know what to Google. Red
spot
that,
that bleeds on my face.
Like, it's always coming up like rosacea or eczema or something.
Okay.
So I don't know. So I'm definitely diving head. I did this with Ashley. Is it diving? It's not diving. It's dove, right? It's dived. It's
I took a deep dive into. I don't know what you're saying.
Holistic things and treatments, and one of the things that I purchased was a grounding sheet, and I truly think that it has helped in the pain in my hip at night, being able to sleep. Now, I don't know that it's not necessarily helping me sleep or stay asleep. Like, I fall asleep with no problem. I have no problem falling asleep. It's being able to stay asleep, and it's not really staying asleep. It's like I toss and turn a lot, and obviously
I know.
Yeah, okay. Really?
Yeah.
I ain't never seen you.
It disrupts me. It disrupts me though. Yeah.
Okay. As you snore over there, you were snoring the other night.
I was what?
You were snoring.
When?
It might have been last night. I wanted to
really?
take my phone out and take a video because I'm like, this never happens.
That's interesting.
I know, and I'm like, what do I do? Do I interrupt him and make him move? I know he's been really tired. He's been working a lot. I'm just.
I felt a little congested. Maybe
maybe it was last night because you were a pill last night.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting.
And you also are starting. I don't recall this happening a year ago, but now it's happening more and more where you are sleeping with your knees up, your legs up. What would you call that?
Knees up.
Knees up. You're sleeping with your knees up. That is so strange to me. Which Jackson told me that Ashley does that, but I have never, that I can think of, ever felt like I was sleeping with my knees up. It's just so weird.
Well, I think that part of it, because I have that knee pillow, we call it the urine pillow, that I put, and see, this one's different. So this one attaches
to your leg.
To my leg. The other one didn't.
Right.
But the other one was also considerably bigger. Mm-hmm. And so when I laid on my side or laid in between, like my legs stayed apart quite a bit. Whereas in this smaller one, my legs go together more, and it's almost like it's not sufficient enough. I like this. I like that it straps because it's much easier when you're turning and all that stuff. But it's almost like it forces me to do my legs differently because it doesn't really help the same way that other one did.
Well, we need to get you a new one.
Yeah.
Because when I turn over and see that you're laying on your back with your knees up,
but it's weird. And I don't think it's my knees up. I think what it is, like, one's up and then one's like over here, because I know what you're talking about. Like, one's kind of over to the side. Some of it too is.
So. They're both up.
Some of it too is their positions and all that stuff. But I think it has more to do with that urine pillow than anything else. Because it like I said, it is noticeably smaller, and it's better than nothing. Because when I take it off and I try to lay out, my knees instantly hurt.
Well, I want to.
My hips too.
The grounding sheet. So I just got the piece that is it just lays across the bed. So it's like a foot, 2 foot, something like that,
wide,
piece of material that then it's 2 foot wide, but then it's like 7, 8 foot long or whatever. And it lays across the bed. And it literally plugs into your outlet and then plugs in, and then it attaches to the sheet. And it has little, I guess, like silver threads, I think is what they say. And apparently that you plug it into the outlet goes into the ground, and it literally is grounding. There's something with the Earth's ions. I was supposed to look it up. I forgot, whatever. And there is something to it. But you do have to have bare skin against it to get the biggest benefit from that. And because I only got that piece of it, I have positioned it underneath underneath my hips, because, my hips have been hurting so bad. And I swear, I really do think it helps at night with my hips not hurting, because I had gotten to the point where my hips were hurting so badly. I was taking ibuprofen before I went to bed, and sometimes that would not even dull the pain at night. And that was part of not being able to sleep, was because it was, no matter what position you get into, it's not helpful.
You also did go to the chiropractor.
I did.
So that could potentially.
Yes, and I did both at the same time, which, why did I do that? I should have done one without the other.
If you were doing a scientific experiment, that would have been thrown out.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So who knows?
But it could be all the above, which is it doesn't really matter. The fact is your hips are feeling better.
And they make a full fitted sheet. I really want to get that, but my only problem is they say you're not supposed to wash this thing but like once a month. And
with the dogs.
Yeah, because it's also because of the silver in it, it has something where it's like it
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It will eventually wear off
Well, it prevents like
dander,
maybe something along those lines. It repels those kind of things, and so it doesn't get as dirty. And like, you're supposed to be able to only wash it once a month, and that'd be fine. But I can't. I'm like, ugh. Our dogs are on our bed. Like, I can't. No, I'm gonna have to wash that thing every week. And so you really are not supposed to. So I haven't gotten the fitted one yet. But I'm wondering if the fitted one would be even more helpful and really help me sleep better. But it's a start. So thought I would throw it out there for other people if they want to try it or whatever. I think there's I'm going to apply for their affiliate thing and then do a post on Facebook probably about it and my experience so far. But it came with, I also got the kit, so it had a grounding mat, and I was like, I don't know, let me try it. And hindsight, I didn't need that because I've not used it. But a lot of people will put it on like a chair, or like if they have a recliner or something like that where your feet can be on it, your feet are touching it at night, or like put it under their desk and touch their feet to it while they're working.
But your feet are supposed to be without socks?
Yes, correct. But they do have grounding socks.
You should let me try it up under my desk. I got those as
a free gift.
You should let me try it under my desk.
You should try
because my feet, we'll just try it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
Well, it's supposed to just ground. It grounds your whole body.
Okay.
Like it takes your whatever. I don't know, there's science behind it. And anyway, I got the grounding socks as a free gift, but it's the same thing. Like the socks, you got to be plugged into the walls. It's like
can't run away.
You're not gonna run away. Yeah. But I guess I could use those on the couch at night. Yeah. I don't know. Gotta see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it's any and all of the holistic things that we're trying.
They will get her every time. Every time.
You got to try these things.
No, I agree.
It's science.
I agree.
It's science. Anyway. All right. Well, these babies are, what time is it? It's time.
It's dinner time. It's 6:45.
We have completely screwed
And look,
them
I'm not even hangry yet.
No, and they're dead asleep like it's nighttime.
Yeah.
We've totally screwed everything up. Okay. Well, we love you guys. And we're going to have 2 episodes this week.
Okay.
We have a special guest coming.
Oh, yeah.
Special guests.
This will be a good one.
That they're going to do a podcast with me tomorrow. And I'll release both of these this week. So
we'll have plenty of podcasts to listen to.
Yeah, we'll kind of play catch up. So and then we'll try to do something fun this weekend to have a podcast coming up next week, whatever. Anyway, I don't know. All right, love you guys.
Deuces.
Bye.